Hello, beautiful and beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And welcome or welcome back. And if you wonder about that strange title, these days I'm bringing you a message after about every other music reaction about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness for the whole planet. And this is a message video, so I hope you'll stick around to the end. But first we're going to do Dimash and the Superboys Queen Medley. Here we go.
Love of my life, you built me. You broke my heart. I know you feel me. Love of my life, get to see. Bring it back. Don't take it away from me, because you don't know what is means to me.
Wow. Beautiful, so profound, right? So first of all, I want to tell you, this is the second video that I tried, and there seems not to be one of them just doing it straight, and I think maybe that has to do with copyright or something like that. So that's why I'm doing this one. The other one had an overlay, which was even worse. But wow, we can still hear the beautiful music, and we can still see the pictures as they go. So yeah, so far so beautiful, right? So beautiful the way he brought that. By the way, friends, don't forget I have my member tiers now, and I'm furiously putting videos in there for you, special ones. Plus, the top tier is getting on that train to 5D. So take a look at that video if you might be interested. Let us go back a tad and continue.
Love of my life, don't leave me. You're taking my love, you know desert me. Love of my life, can't you see? Please bring it back, bring it back. Don't take it away from me, because you don't know what it means to me.
Oh my goodness. I mean, listen, you have to tell me about these Superboys. I know nothing about them. Were these some Got Talent type of singers, or where do they come from? Who are they? Don't they have beautiful voices? All of them, really. I mean, by the way, if you're enjoying this, give me a like. Give them a like later. It's in the notes. And subscribe. Let's go back a tad. Here we go.
Please, you will remember when this is blown over and everything's all by the way. When I grow older, I will be there at your side to remind you, oh, I still love you.
I was going to say, I never heard that song. I know Queen. I thought I knew their songs pretty well. I never heard that song. That's amazing. Let's continue.
It's gonna be a big man. Someday you got mud on the face. Big disgrace. Kicking your gun all over the place. We will rock you. Come on. We will rock you.
Okay, so that's solidly from my generation. I remember listening to a band doing it when I was just about to go into middle school, and I went to visit the junior high school, and there was the band playing this song, and we all were jumping and yelling and singing and everything. So this is solidly my generation. Let's continue.
But you're a young man, hard man, you're in the street, gonna take on the world someday. You got blood on your face, you big disgrace. Maybe you're better all over the place. We will rock you. We will rock you. We will rock you. So you think you can stop me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just gonna get out, just can't run out here.
I mean, you can see it was a great performance, even just from the flashes of the pictures. I only wish I could have found one where I could do the whole performance, as is. But oh well. Let's continue.
We are the champions, my friend, and we keep on dancing till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No one is we are the champions.
Listen to that cacophony of like resonant voices all at once, right? And they're all so wonderful. Let's go back a little bit and hear that again.
We are the champions, my friend, and we keep on dancing till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No one is we are the champions. We are the champions, my friend. Keep on fighting to the end. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the
And they are, aren't they? Did you see that little sign there, by the way? It says, hold on a minute. And they are the champions. They are the champions, right? Oh my goodness. So, wow. Did they do a great job on that? And the little sign in the corner said not available in your country. So that's why I was struggling to find that one. But how they are the champions. They did that so well. I wish I'd been able to see the actual, the whole thing, the whole panorama of it. But it was really pretty great, just exactly how we saw it. My goodness. So that was a very inspiring take on Queen. I don't always think of Queen as being very uplifting, but that one uplifted me, I have to tell you. It really did. The way they did it, the beautiful way that they did the whole thing, really did uplift me. So we got to put this on my scale, 1 being very third dimensional, fear, pain, suffering, sadness, anger. 10 being very fifth dimensional, love, peace, joy, bliss, knowing your power and having your power. Wow. Okay. So, all right. So it started with the song that was kind of sad about the one was losing the one that he loved. So that's pulling a little more toward third dimensional. Then you had the story about Buddy, You're a Man and all that. That's more third dimensional but it's kind of a scolding song to that whoever he's talking to about, clean up your act kind of thing, right? So that's a little more third dimensional also, but it's trying to move you in that direction. Then you had, the one about where he's on death row. That's more third dimension, right? We Are the Champions comes in, though, lifts you up. Okay, that's more fifth dimensional. You know your power. You know your God spark. You're going for it. I think that really lifted me way up at the end. But also just the way that they sang it was so beautiful and so wonderful. So it does have a lot of third dimensional aspects to it, but it also was done in a very high vibrational way. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 with this one, I'm going with an 8.5. And wonderfully done, wonderfully done. And that kind of shows you how you can take a song that normally might not be uplifting and flip it to be uplifting, which is how that whole thing kind of occurred as to be uplifting, because it's about the vibration. It's about the frequency, not necessarily the message. The message is important, but it doesn't always carry the day. If you can get a frequency and a vibration or a sound or an energy in there, that's what we're saying there, it lifts it up. So that was very, very powerful and very wonderful. I just really enjoyed it. By the way, friends, if you'd like to know a little about me, you can go to the About Me video here on this channel, which also leads you to a longer video if you so desire about what I call my Forged in the Fire journey of third dimension. It was interesting, but I learned a lot. I became a transformational life coach, and also I learned a lot about natural healing, and that's kind of all about body, mind, spirit, health, right? Like getting the baggage out of the way, and so you could just shine. So let's see. If you want to hear about that kind of stuff, you can go to the notes here to About Lorelei on Patreon and see a sort of list of all those things that I've created. And also on that page is a place where if you'd like to give me a donation, there's also Buy Me a Coffee here on this description in my YouTube. So I do thank those of you who have done that and who have given me your vote of confidence. That's much appreciated. Okay, so let's get to my fifth dimensional message. How do we stop the vicious cycle or vicious circle, some say, of hurting and getting hurt? So that we can even get to 5D, by the way. So we could even get to fifth dimension. In fifth dimension, there's none of that going on. So somewhere between now and getting to the fifth dimension, we have to stop all that. So how in the heck are we going to do it? Because this has been a cycle on our planet for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Like we all kind of now we have a sort of an understanding of how this goes. If a child is growing up and gets hurt in whatever way by parents, by bullies, by friends of people around them that they come in contact with, whatever way that child gets hurt, it causes a deep, deep scar on the child's personality. It causes a schism of the personality or the identity in some kind of way. And generally that personality, that identity, by the way, we're playing in my realm of expertise, so I'm going to tell you how it goes here. Generally that personality or identity will go one of two ways in that case. It's either going to veer off and become a victim. So that it'll have thoughts. He or she will have thoughts in the head that make that one become more of a victim, or he or she will have thoughts in that head that make that one become more of a bully or a victimizer. And this is almost always the way that people veer off when they have extreme levels, I should say. People can get along with some level of being hurt and whatever, and everybody has it. It does happen to everyone. But when you have higher levels of being hurt, and they're more violent, and they're more painful, and they're more atrocious or whatever, you're usually going to veer off in one of two ways, either into being a victim because you got thoughts in your head about how you are a victim and various kinds of thoughts like that, or into being a victimizer because you're like, you're never going to you got to do there's no other way. You just saw it, you learned it, and so you go that way. You think that's who you are or whatever. And there's a whole science behind that, right? We're not going to explain all that today because I could do it, but we're not going to explain all that today. But that's generally the way people will go. So what happens then? You got then a whole world full of they're not only this obvious. There's a lot of victims and a lot of victimizers. And because you have the victimizers, the bullies, they keep making more and more victims and more springing up to be the victims. And they become, and it just over and over and over. And then over the years, the violence gets worse and worse and worse, right? You get to the point where finally you could, if you wanted to, with a click of a button, wipe out the entire planet and really kill off the entire planet, right? That's where we're at now. You could potentially do that if you wanted to, because the violence has gotten worse and worse. The victims, the hurting and being hurt has gotten worse and worse and worse and worse for thousands of years. And so here we sit. But the crazy thing, I don't know if you realize this, but you've seen what's going on in the world, right? And it almost looks like, oh my gosh, the world is getting so terrible and so horrible. Like you see all these stories of what's happening to children, what's happening to women, all kinds of different things, what's happening in this or that ring of people, which we call the PDF files. You see all of that stuff going on and you say, oh my goodness, the world is just, you want to think sometimes the world's going to heck in a handbag, right? But actually, what we need to understand is that that's all been going on for all those years, all of that has been going on. But the mass of the population, here's the thing, the mass of the population didn't know about it. And how that was all able to continue to go on because the mass of the population, most of the population being good, being loving, being caring, loving their children, caring, wanting to help other people's children, like masses, 90% of the population or whatever are in that realm of being good people. They didn't know about it. So now we see it all springing up here, there, and everywhere. I said, what's going on? Actually, we can see that this is actually a good thing. Not a good thing that it's going on, but a good thing that this horrible underbelly of harming other people is coming to the surface. It's coming to the light. The light is being shined on it so we can do something about it. And that's the first step to stop the cycle of hurting and being hurt that has gone on for thousands of years, is to right now put a stop to it. It doesn't matter what it takes for the good people of the earth to rise up and put a stop to it. And certainly I'm talking about legal means, right? But we need to put our feet down and say, absolutely not, this shall not happen. It's kind of like the movement, I want to give everyone the grace to live their life however they want to. And that's fine if you're a man and you want to wear a dress and say you're a woman, do it, have at it, have a good time. No problem with that. I think most of us don't have a problem with that. But you cannot be in the bathrooms with women who are susceptible, or children at least some of those would want to take advantage of that situation. We must put our foot down and say, no, we are not going to allow, because that'll continue the cycle. Just an open season to be able to get access to children and women who are vulnerable. No, you can't do it. So this is where we're putting our feet down. We know on the other side, you have a caring for those folks. You want those folks to feel accepted, understood, no problem, but not at the level where it puts other people at the risk of harm. We must not allow that anymore. And this is just one example. I'm just giving you one example, one tiny little example. Any thing out there that puts other people at risk of harm, we must put our foot down and say, no, this does not fly. This is not allowed. We're not going to allow it. And anytime that a person has been, so this is this situation with the immigrants also, people who have come to our country, many of whom just want a better place to live, and we understand that, but a lot of whom snuck in here under the radar and are harming people. So no, we cannot allow this. We don't know who is who, so we need to take them out, take a moment and pause. Everybody's got to go, and then you can come back at some point, one at a time, when we can make sure you're not going to harm everybody or harm people, which some of them have been doing. Certainly not the majority, but it doesn't matter. A little bit is not okay anymore. And even that's going on in our own country without any. We've already got it going on, by the way. Those folks need to be put a stop to that. You need to get better justice system where you harm someone, especially a child, or some violent, horrible way, then you're you're going away and you're not coming back to be able to do it again. It's got to be a point where we put our feet down. See, the only way we're going to stop the violence and the cycle of hurting is to stop the violence. We must put a stop to it. And then, as we do this and we go along, and now people are not getting hurt from the get-go, our children coming in are not getting hurt from the get-go, it takes time for us to like almost sort of forget. There's a forgetting in the older population. You need to forget that it's even possible to harm people. That's part of the path to fifth dimension, to even forget that it's possible to harm people. Once the harming of people has stopped and there's no more people that are doing that, I'm talking about, now we forget that it's even possible. And over time, that is something that can happen, especially with the light from the creator and everything coming in. You know, we can actually, and it's not like you forget it like completely. It's just more like it doesn't occur to you like it's possible anymore. It's like that. It occurs like a bad dream, like that used to happen, and it's not that anymore. And now the new ones coming in, because we've put the stop to them being harmed anymore, they're going to come in with a fresh new outlook, and they can just go about the business of bringing forth peace and love and joy and all of that. There's going to be a lot less things that would harm you when you get to the fifth dimension. In fact, there'll be nothing that would harm you when you get to the fifth dimension. But on the path to the fifth dimension, there's a lot less and less and less. So now you were able to sort of raise yourself up. You're able to heal the body with all of the technology coming in. So that's another reason why people hurt each other. If you're hurting, you got a physical body that's hurting, you're more likely to lash at out at the people around you in your hurt, in your pain. So cleaning up the physical bodies, there's in every ability to do that. We have the technology, the quantum healing beds and everything like that. Cleaning that up. Another reason people lash out and hurt each other is the stress, because they don't have enough money. Basically, they don't have the ability to live, and people start to lash out and get nasty to each other from all that stress. That stress is going to be taken off the table. Everyone's going to have an ability to live a solid, decent life and not be all stressed about money. Because number one, pretty soon we're going to be getting what we call the replicators. And those replicators can make you anything at all that you ever need. Those replicators are like, I could make these headphones, I could make an apple, I could make a T-bone steak, I could make healthiest for my body possible. You know, I could make the scarf behind me, I could make a house. I can make anything in that replicator that I want. So you won't need money, and there will be no worry about lack. And as we get there, there are some things that, are being done, are about to be done, that started to already be put into place that will cause people to raise their standard of living, such as, for instance, the tariffs coming into the U.S. will begin to raise the standard of living as that money gets distributed out to the population. So there's a lot of plans like that in your own country too, wherever you're watching. There are the plans in place to raise your standard of living. I promise you. There's an entire, ensemble of individuals we call the white hats, by the way. They're people in all kinds of positions of power around the globe, all different kinds, who are working on this for everyone, everywhere, in each and every country out there. So don't worry to think it's only coming in one place. It's not. It's coming everywhere. And this is how, when you have no more people being hurt, when you have it starting to fade in people's memory that people ever could or did hurt you, when you have nothing to be stressed about in terms of money because you got what you need, when you have nothing to worry about in terms of health because you're healthy and you're feeling great. I mean, these are the major things, right? and you have the people off the planet. You have the people, I should say, out of society who would hurt anybody. All of these come together and literally allow us to stop right in its tracks this thousands of year cycle of hurting and getting hurt. I want you to really, really get and understand this. This is possible. This is doable. And this is happening. Take it to the bank. Okay, beloved ones, that's it for my message for you today. I'm going to send you that beautiful fifth dimensional energy, the love, the peace, the joy, the bliss, the abundance, the fun, the ease coming at you now. Here it comes. And the health, the perfect health in every way coming at you now. Namaste. I honor the God in you.